You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature. Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop, and I'm trying a pretty unique little set here. This is a BanDai rice cracker maker set. It says Mega House here. That's all I can really read on this. It says Mega House BanDai 2011. And it looks like you make the little shapes, and then out come these cool little crackers. So you'll see them all over. I'm not sure if I can be this creative, but I want to give it a shot. Now everything is in Chinese, I believe, because when I translated in Chinese, I was able to read some of the steps to understand what's going on. Right here, I think it's saying don't use a regular oven, don't use a toaster oven, and don't put any of the parts in the microwave oven. So I know things need to be microwaved. And here's some steps. It looks like you're forming, pressing, and then putting in the microwave. Now I read, right here, microwave and rice. And you also do need oil and salt, because this came with a little DVD that you can watch. It's like the commercial that it came with this when they show you using those types of ingredients. And let me just get it out of the box and we'll check it out. Here is everything. So these are the little shapes that you're making your rice crackers. Here was that DVD CD I was telling you about. And then you have your instruction booklet. I'm just going to do it all right here for you right now. And it looks like more instructions. And then here are the instructions. And they go this way to the back where you're taking them out of the microwave and eating them. So all these steps, look, are all in here. All right. So I should be able to get right through this. And then here's some sheets. And then here is the main maker part. And then this little tool. Okay, it's almost all out. So it's a heart-shaped, pretty neat looking little press. And there's my tools. This little thing, I'm not sure, this may be some kind of holder. I'll have to find out. Okay, and then it looks like these are what you press into to make your shapes. And look at them all. Here's what you have. Hearts, a fish, looks almost like Hello Kitty. And then this shape, a star and a heart, and it looks like maybe a panda, I'm not sure. And you must probably put it this way. And I think you're putting paper in between the layers and pressing, and then you take it out and microwave it. So this is everything that came with it. And now I need to kind of organize a little bit here, understand it a little bit better, and get started. Okay, here we go. This is everything, like I said, with the set. Notice that this is the stand for your little shapes. And then this is your measuring spoon. Also another little tool. They have little hearts on the end. See that? The CD I don't need. And I've been through the instructions. Now I'll just give you a quick run through because I had to translate a bunch of this. They show you all the parts. They show you to cut wax paper to fit this little section, but these also fit pretty good too. And then they show you rice and preparing it. They show you cutting seaweed shapes. I might try that. I have some. And then how to clean and maintain it. That's everything I'm figuring out here. Here is a measurer for cutting your size paper, maybe. Yeah, look at that. I think that's what it is. I can translate that more later. And then, of course, this is the mixing section. Happy salt, oil, and your rice. And then you put that in with the paper and your shape. Go all the way through the steps. Here you're scooping the rice in. Here they show you how to fill it. Press it, and if it looks like any of these, then you have it wrong. If it looks like this, you're right on. Then you can add your little design. See that? Right there to the top. Then you pull it out. Leave it on the paper now, because it's got to have the paper. And then you put that into the microwave. See that? Put a paper towel down, it looks like. Then put that on that. And then it comes out, this nice, beautiful group of crackers. and you get to eat and enjoy. And there's more information. So that's what I see. There are no English instructions anywhere. So what I'm going to bring in now is my own tools for measuring. I have some oil, some salt, my rice, and then some Saran wrap. That's what I'm going to get started with. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of Saran wrap. I thought I had the end started. It's always hard to find the end of Saran wrap. Or the beginning, however you want to look at it. Okay. There it is. That's what they say to mix it in. So I'm going to take a piece like this. Now, I read some of the measurements in there, but it was hard to translate. So I'm going to do this like this. I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of rice is what I'm going to start with and try. 1/4 cup. Okay. That's about a 1/4 cup. It's sticky. And I'm going to use their measure for the amount of oil. Okay, put a little oil in that. And then I'll do 1/8 teaspoon of salt. That's your flavor. And then they take it like this and they show her squishing it. Look at that. And with the oil and the salt giving you the flavor, you're getting like this ricey kind of pasty creation here that you're going to cook in the microwave. And I did translate somewhere, it said, cook it till it's a little brown in the middle. So we're going to have to run a couple tests. Okay, I think that's mixed pretty good. All right. Let me get the wax paper. All right, let me move that out of the way and rip a sheet off. Okay. And then measure, yes. It was centimeters, so let me just hold this here. Cut a square, clean up this edge. I wonder if the other ones that they provide you are just a little bit different. 9 centimeters is what they want. Okay, a little bit more. I'm guessing the oil helps with the cooking process. Here, how about I do this? Yes, that looks good. And then I'll cut right here. Okay. Put this down here. Okay. And then, well, maybe a little shorter to fit perfectly in there. There you go. And somewhere it said put oil on it, so I'm not sure. I'll just do that with my finger just to kind of, maybe it helps with the sticking. I'm not sure. Hold it down maybe. And then let me take a shape. Put that in there. Okay, I'm jumping the gun here. I need to follow a little bit closer to the instructions. Yes. Then take your rice creation and take their little tools. Get a towel. Clean out the oil. Well, I'll leave the oil might help actually. Scoop some up. And then let's see. Can't go wrong with a circle, huh? All right, then they show her putting paper on top of that. This paper. Probably just pressing this a little bit to get it to where you want it. Let me put a little bit more in the ears on this shape. A little there, and a little there. Yeah, this is definitely something I've never tried before. Okay. Take this like this, and then press. And it's got texture pattern there. And then look. Ooh, it looks pretty good. I think it's a little bit over, so maybe I did put a little too much. But it's not bad, actually. This one looks a little bit over. Okay, you're not cooking it in this either. You gotta pull it out of the shape. Okay, you know what I think I should do? I should get some of the seaweed and make some eyes before I go any further. Let me show you what I have. Not sure if it's right or not, but looks like a fun little set. I think that's pretty good, actually. All right, I'm gonna move some things out, bring the seaweed in, and cut some eyes. Okay, so here's what I have. It's 10 sheets, and I thought it would be the right stuff. I don't know. I'll find out right now. Look at that. Okay, so there's a sheet. And then eyes. Wow, you could probably get all kinds of little tools here. I'll see if I can cut like a couple strips. For that first one. Over my circle. A little shorter. There, 2 strips. I also read somewhere that it was a healthy snack. Well, that looks cool. Like that. And then now some circles. Here, I'll do it from the scrap pieces I have. For my panda ears. Here, I'll do panda eyes. If that's what it is. I know everybody's got some keen senses out there as to what everything is. Okay, and then what about panda mouth? I'll just do a straight mouth right now, so that's what I have. A little thinner, and I'll round off the edges. There, he's happy. Okay, and then I think it said, press that down again. Let's just double do that. Okay. And then now I should be able to take it out. Let's see, peel that off, then take this out. It should come right out. But where you're over the edge just a little is what they want you to avoid. Okay, so there's my 2 rice crackers, right? Is that what I'm doing? I think so. And then this could come out now. And then put this on a paper towel in the microwave. So let's do that next. Okay, here we go. Test number 1 to see how these come out. Now, if you looked at the picture, she made all the different shapes and put them all in at one time. So I'm just going to test these first, go for about a minute, and see what they look like. Remember, it said a little brown in the center. We'll see how they come out. All right, I'm going to stop it there. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so that was less than a minute. It was about 45 seconds, and look at them. They are brown in the center. So let me bring them back in and, check them out. Okay, there you go. They have cooled just a little. I probably cut the microwave down just a little, but there's pictures of real brown ones on the box, so let's see. Okay, most of the paper came off. Just a little bit left. So maybe a little more oil next time. That one did good. Okay, that one's pretty good. Then let me crack one and see. Ooh, so they're crispy. Ooh, I didn't even take a look at it. They're crispy, look at that. Let me try one. Let's see if we get a nice crispy taste. I like the taste. Well, of course, because there's salt in there. But it tastes pretty good, actually. All right, so let's try it again. Let's make a few more. Let's cut down the microwave time. I taste the seaweed, too. Not bad. Last one. Well, there you go. Let me come back now, and we'll make more shapes and try a few more things. All right, I have to say I'm very happy with the way those came out for my first attempt. I'm sure people in the comments will say, well, you should try this and try that, and I agree, I will, but this is my first time. So I'm going to actually use the paper they provided. It seemed it didn't stick as much. And then let me bring in another shape. Okay. And then I will take a little less rice. Okay, just kind of right to that level there. Stick that in there. Now the box showed really yellow ones and then really pink ones. So I thought, I think I can do something with pink. All right, now if I just press it, is she actually shaping it to fit before she presses it or just pressing it? Let me check. Yeah, it looks like you spread it out with your little tools. To get it, into the areas you need to get it into. All the little pieces are green seaweed pieces that are just around. Okay. And then this on top. Hope I'm doing this right. And then press. Here's my first set. So what I'll do is I'll just make all my shapes. That looks pretty good. And since I have plenty, let's just see. Let's just see if this pulls right out without putting any seaweed on it. Okay, like that. And then they kind of show you. There. Okay. So then I thought pink. How do I get pink? Well, something natural is beetroot. So I'm going to take a little beetroot and mix it in what I have here. It's very red. I'll just take a tiny bit. And put it in here. So what would you use for the yellow? I was thinking curry maybe would make a nice yellow with a good taste. Look at that, I'm getting pink. So you obviously don't need this if you want to experiment with these. So what I did, I ripped my little baggie. So remember, I did a half a cup or a quarter cup of rice, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and then whatever that looks like, maybe half a teaspoon of oil. Okay, so here is some pink now. Look at that. Did that come out good? And it smells like beets. Now, not everybody likes beets, but maybe with the salt and the rice flavor, it's okay. So look at this one. This one's got 3 shapes on it. All right, here we go. Maybe I can get 3 off of what I have left here. 1. But you can almost just make the little rice ball like that. Use your fingers. Okay. But have a towel handy. There you go. And then here we'll shape these out. Doesn't always go where you want it to go. Okay. Now another piece of the paper. We'll see. I'm not sure I have enough, but we'll see when it squishes. You do feel it squish just enough where you know it's doing something. You don't want too much in there because then it's hard to get out of the shape. At least that's what I see. See, like this one got little extra there, and you want that shape to be pronounced. So let's see. Okay, you could probably use cookie cutters too. See how that one wasn't as pronounced as it should be? I'm gonna leave it. Okay, there's my second set, and then set number 3 is this one. And I don't have enough rice. So I'm going to actually reorganize just a second here and then mix up another batch. All right, next batch. About a 1/4 cup. I started with a new piece of plastic because the other one's starting to go. And then I did one of these, remember? And I'll probably do just a little bit less salt. I mean, they were salty, not too bad, so I'm going to do this much now, about half of that, a 1/16. And then, I don't know if I should make it pink. Here, I'll mix it, take half, and then I'll do a few more shapes in pink. So I'll make, I want to do all 4. So I'm going to do this one in white, and I'll do the big one here in pink. Those are the ones I did the first time, but I want to do all 4 at one time, then take them out of the microwave and see. So after this, I can clean up, decorate them, and then microwave them. So I'm just kind of squishy, squishy. And it becomes like this moldable, almost like a dough, like a rice dough. And I'm sure you could put other flavorings in there. And can't see why not. Okay, there we go. And then my shapes. Now I haven't been oiling the papers. Let me do a little bit on this one, see if it makes a difference. All right. There we go. How about we just take it a little bit closer to the smooshing part. So I've been using 2, kind of moving it and smooshing it. Okay, that's going to be too much. I'm going to take a bunch out of this one. You can tell once it starts going over the edge, then you have too much because you want it to just fill it just right. There we go. This one too. These must be smaller than even the ones I just did. I wonder if there's like 3 sizes. The super small ones like this, the medium ones, and then the large ones. I'm going to put a little bit there. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, now the squishy part. Let's get that in there. And that in there. Squish. So I would say, look at that. That's pretty good. I mean, you can probably spend more time just making them absolutely perfect, but just pop them all out. All right, so there's my next batch. And now the last one. I do want to do the last one in pink. I have a little bit of pink, but not enough pink. So let's bring this, the leftover from the last batch, and then I'll add a little bit more of this beet juice. It's very thick. I mean, not thick, it's just not, it's very red. How's that? I'm not sure normally what cooking you would use this in. Or do you drink it? Okay, here we go. Here's what it starts as, and then I'm just squishing, squishing, squishing. I put a little bit more in this time to make it even redder. What other flavors can you put in there? I mean, I guess if you like onion, you could put a little onion flavor in there. You like garlic, a little garlic flavor. I mean, there's garlic and onion chips and all kinds of. I guess if you think about all the different chips out there, there's barbecue, ranch. Look at that. So last one. This one's bigger now. Okay, here we go. Can you see it okay? Kind of adjusting on the move here. Okay, I like that. I'll push that down. See, much pinker than the last ones. Here we go. Squish. How's that? See how it's just like stuck in a little few spots? You can probably just use your finger there. And we'll pop this off first. There. Now I think I'm going to decorate them out of this. And maybe I can bring them back in and press them. But otherwise, I think they'll be fine if I just take a little paper like this, put my designs on, and just tap them down just a little. So I'm going to clean everything up, come back, and just decorate a few. Okay, here we go. Now I don't think it says you have to decorate them. I think it's just, here, I'll show you the box front again. They just show you all different decorations. See the pink ones? And there's these yellow ones and these brown ones. I'm not sure if it's the white ones that are cooked a little bit more, but it seems like there's at least 3 colors for sure. But look at how they decorate them. There's just simple little, some have just simple little squares and circles. Ah, that's what I like to hear, simple. All right, I'm gonna do a few simple ones. How's that? I'm just gonna cut on my sheet here. Cut a piece off. And then, like, yeah, I guess I can do a circle here. It's easy to cut. Then place it on my center of my flower. Oh, it sticks pretty good, so I don't think you'll have to do much more after that. And then my star. What would I do? Now, I decorated him already. I think the white ones need some decoration to kind of make them stand out a little bit. Let's see if I can make a heart shape to go in my heart. This is easy to cut, actually. How's that heart? Sticking to my finger. Okay, hey, you slid over. And let me just do a couple oddball shapes. A square. Here, I'll put it on this one. And then, oh, this one I squished by accident. That was the fish. I'll give him a tiny fish eye. How's that? There's his eye. Boy, for the fine decorating, you almost need tweezers. I like to grab tweezers out. This is just a circle. Let me see if I can cut a skinny strip. And use these on this circle like I did before. I think they even do that on one like a tic-tac-toe, don't they? Yeah, tweezers would sure come in handy. One more strip. All right. I dropped it. There, that stuff sticks pretty good, but I thought at this point you can just, instead of using your machine, just tap it down like that. Not changing the shape or anything. Okay. There's my designs. Well, I gotta put a face on this. It just doesn't look right. At least eyes. There. That's better. Now you're looking at me. All right, so now I can put all of them in the microwave, and I'm going to do between 30 and 45 seconds. Let's give this a try. All right, so 35 seconds. Last time was around 45 seconds, but there was 2. So I think it was either too much time for too few. So let's see at 35 seconds with these how they come out. All right, I'm going to say not enough. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds.
All right, that looks good now. So let's check them out after they cool down.
All right, so let me transfer them to something so that you can, I can present them to you on better. Here is one that is the star shape, and you can hear it's got some soft spots and some crispy spots. That one too. And then these, not as crispy. The centers are crispy, so you know, maybe you can adjust that time. And then here's the big one here. Look at that. Let me zoom in and show them to you. Here, I'll keep this one out. This one, and bring in some of these. Okay. So what do you think about that? The crispiest one, I think, is the star. So could you cook them longer? Yes. And I want to try a beet one. So let me taste another one now. Here we go. You hear it's crispy, and it's also kind of chewy. It's a neat combination. Let me eat one with the beet juice. Here we go. Okay, not much of a flavor difference on that one. I kind of like them. I think they're good, and I made them for the first time. So if you have any suggestions, you know, let me know. And maybe I'll try it again in the future in another set. This is basically just this little type of cookie or cracker, whatever you want to call them. Rice cookies, rice crackers, what do you call them? And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, watching me learn and make adjustments as I go along. Which ended up being your favorite? I think this one is pretty neat, and this one, I just like the colors. Let me know in the comments. And any helpful tips, let me know in the comments. And if you translated anything or were able to read it and picked up on something that I didn't, let me know in those comments. And thanks for watching and supporting Lucky Penny Shop. Later! If you're looking for the item you just saw in the video, click here. Watch more videos by clicking here. Don't forget to share on social media and give a thumbs up.
Hey, LPS-Dave.
What's up, Butch?
Make sure they don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, please click here to subscribe to Lucky Penny Shop. And always remember, when you see a lucky penny,
Pick it up.
thanks for watching.